Since students, trust we are all doing great. So today we'll be looking at citizenship and acquisition of citizenship, rights and duties of citizens. Now, first off, we needed to know was the definition of being a citizen. What does it mean to being a citizen? A citizen is a person officially or legally recognized as a member of a state or a country and entitled to its political, social, economic rights while also obliged to some responsibilities, duties, and obligations. Now, a citizen is a person officially and legally recognized as a member of a country. And because of that recognition, they are entitled to some rights. Now, these rights ranges from political to social to economic rights. And also, the citizens of a country don't only enjoy the rights of the country, they are also obliged to some responsibilities. They are also obliged to do some duties and obligations for that country. Now, by obliged, I mean legally making someone bound to do something, all right? So, a citizen is a person that is officially or legally recognized as a member of a state or a country, and such a person is entitled to that country's political, social, and economic rights, while they are also obliged or they are also have some responsibilities, duties, and obligations to carry out, right? You can also say that citizens are the bona fide members of a country. By bona fide, we mean those who are legally, those who are genuinely members of a country. Okay, so in a state or a country, those who are not legally recognized as members are called aliens. So in a particular state, in a particular country, those who are not legally recognized as its members are called aliens, right? Such that they don't have any legal recognition as being members of that country. Therefore, we recognize them or we refer them to as aliens. Now, over to citizenship. Citizenship is the legal status of being a member of a country. So, a citizen is a person that is officially or legally recognized as a member of a state or country, and such a person is also entitled to its political, social, and economic rights, while they are also mandated to carry out some responsibilities, duties, and obligations. But now citizenship is now a status, right? So citizenship is a legal status of being a member of a country. And this legal status, just like we defined in citizen, give the person rights and also what obliges the person to duties and responsibilities under the law. Okay, just so we recap, we said citizen is a person who is officially and legally recognized as a member of a state or a country and entitled to its political, social, and economic rights, while they are also obliged to some responsibilities, duties, and obligations, right? And we say those who are not legally recognized as members of a country are referred to as aliens. Okay, all right, so moving forward, there are various ways of acquiring citizenship in a country. There are various ways of acquiring citizenship in a country. The first we'll be looking at is citizenship by birth or birthright citizenship. This is acquired when one is born within the territory of a sovereign state or country. For example, when a child is born in Nigeria. Now, citizenship by birth or birthright citizenship is automatic, right, under the law. Now, this makes a child an automatic citizen of a country, right? Why? Because they are born within the territory of that country, right? And is also acquired through birth to a citizen of a sovereign state or country. Let's take a look at the first one. Now, because for most of you who were giving birth to in Nigeria, because that you were giving birth to anywhere in Nigeria, right, that makes you a Nigerian. So talking about territory means an area of land under the jurisdiction of a ruler or a state. So an area of land which is under the jurisdiction of Nigeria. So if you are born anywhere within Nigeria, automatically you are a Nigerian. And for some other countries which respect this, if you are born within the territory of that country, you are also recognized as a citizen of that country. And also, like I was saying, is acquired through two ways actually. When you are born within the territory of that state, that sovereign state or country, or when you are born to a person or a parent from that country. All right. Okay, so when you are born to a Nigerian parent, that automatically makes you a Nigerian. When you are born to a British parent, that automatically makes you a British. Now, by British means a citizen of the United Kingdom, right? Those are what we regard as what? The British. So when you are born to a British parent, that automatically makes you a British. When you are born to a Nigerian parent, that automatically makes you a Nigerian. And when you are born within Nigeria, that automatically makes you. When you are born within Nigeria, that automatically makes you a Nigerian. And when we are born within the United Kingdom, that automatically makes you a British. Okay, so secondly, another way of acquiring citizenship is by registration. Now, this is acquisition of citizenship through registration with appropriate authorities within a state or country, having satisfied certain conditions. And for in Nigeria, there's a Ministry of Internal Affairs or the Ministry of Interiors that is responsible for issuing out citizenship by registration. Okay, so the first we say the citizenship by birth or birthright citizenship, where one automatically becomes a citizen of a country when he or she is born within the jurisdiction of that country, or when such a person is born to a citizen, a parent who is a citizen of a sovereign country, a sovereign state or country, right? Okay, so the second one was citizenship by registration. Now, this entails that you can register to become a citizen of a country which probably you were not born in or which your parents are not from. So you can register to become a citizen of that country, but you must have to satisfy certain conditions, right? There are various certain conditions, and this varies across different countries and sovereign states, right? The conditions that the Constitution of Nigeria holds that one must fulfill before he or she is registered as a citizen of Nigeria is quite different from that of US, it's quite different from that of Mexico, it's quite different from that of the United Kingdom. All right, so every country, as regards to their constitution, has different conditions laid down that everyone who desires to be registered as a member, as a legal member, or as a citizen of that country must satisfy. Okay, so under citizenship by registration, we have citizenship by marriage. This is a process of acquiring citizenship of a country or a state by marrying a citizen of that country. For example, a Mexican marrying a Nigerian. Okay, so citizenship by marriage, this is acquired when someone marries a citizen of another country. For example, when maybe someone is from Nigeria and he or she marries a spouse from Mexico, or the person is a Mexican and he or she marries a Nigerian. Okay, by that marriage, the person can register to become legally a citizen of either Nigeria or Mexico, as the case may be. All right. Then another way of acquiring citizenship is citizenship by descent, also known as citizenship by ancestry. This is a citizenship acquired based on family ties and ancestry, right? For example, a Nigerian whose grandparents are Norwegians. Okay, so this type of citizenship is acquired when there are what? Family ties and ancestry. For example, you're a Nigerian and you realize that your grandparent was or is a British, or you realize that your grandparent is a Mexican. Okay, so because of that family tie, you can lay hold on that family tie and register in that particular country as a citizen of that country. All right, we also have citizenship by adoption. This involves a foreign born child becoming a citizen of a country other than their birth country through the legal process of adoption. Okay, so by adoption is a legal act of taking another's child and bringing it up as one's own. Okay, so when a parent legally takes up another child, which is not his or hers, right, and trains the child up, by that legal process, such a child can register to become a citizen of the country of what the parent who has adopted him or her. Right? So this involves a foreign-born child becoming a citizen of a country other than their birth country through the legal process of adoption. Example, a Nigerian adopting a British. So when a Nigerian parent adopts a British, like a child who was born in UK or a child whose original parents were British, right? So by the Nigerian parent adopting that child, the child can register to become a citizen of Nigeria through adoption. Okay? All right. So we also have citizenship by the naturalization. This is a process by which foreigners are granted citizenship after satisfying the necessary condition or specific requirements by law. Now, most times, this citizenship by naturalization is tied to commitment. It's tied to how well or how good such a person has contributed in the development of that country. You understand? For example, someone who has stayed in UK for maybe 15 or 20 years, you understand? And all through this while, the person has positively contributed to the community where he or she finds himself, right? So by that, after those commitments, after those contributions, the person can after also fulfilling various other requirements by law, the person can actually register to become a citizen of such country. Now, citizenship by naturalization is also tied to years, right? So most times in most countries, they don't actually give out citizenship by naturalization if the person have not stayed in that particular country for some certain years, right? And if also the person or such a person has not positively contributed to the development of that economic state. You understand? All right. Moving forward, we also have citizenship by honorary citizenship. Now, this is when citizens of a country, the citizenship of a country is granted to honor a distinguished or an eminent foreigner, recognizing their contributions or their qualities, right? This is a citizenship granted to honor a distinguished or eminent foreigner. For example, the president of France might honor the president of Nigeria with an honorary citizenship, right? He might, okay, because of how good our president is, okay, because of how well you've contributed to the development of Africa, because of how good you've been in the development of trade, because of how good you've been in the development of the oil and gas sector across Europe, I therefore, confer this honorary citizenship on you. You understand? So, honorary citizenship is done to honor a distinguished or an eminent foreigner. Understand? So, such a person might not have lived in that country of interest, but just that possibly they have positive contributions, right? And they are eminent, right? And they are also distinguished by eminence. We mean standing out, right? And most times you see this honorary citizenship within the top elites, right? The politicians and the rest of that. So those are those, or even businessmen, those who have positively contributed to the development of countries, development of trade, development of businesses, humanitarian development as well. Those who have contributed to humanitarian aid, right? You see some countries, okay, honoring them with the citizenship of their country. You understand? Okay, moving forward, we have what we call withdrawal of citizenship. This is a situation whereby the citizenship conferred on an individual, particularly an alien, is relinquished. Okay, so this is done when possibly the person must have fluttered, or the person must have failed in carrying out their responsibilities, or the person must have maybe committed a grievous crime, right? So at this case, the country which has conferred the citizenship onto such a person would necessarily relinquish the citizenship. Now, the withdrawal of citizenship is mostly seen in those who acquire their citizenship other than birth, right? Those who acquire their citizenship by adoption, by marriage, by descent, by naturalization, by honorary citizenship, those who acquire their citizenship through those processes, they are those persons whom are mostly affected by this, right? If they by any means flutter or commit grievous crimes, or maybe try to aid another country against the country which they are citizens of, all these grievous crimes makes the country to relinquish the citizenship from them, right? It's just like revoking, taking away, right? So, and let's quickly look at the keywords we've talked about across this discussion. We have bona fide, which means genuine or real. We have rights, which means entitlements or claims that individuals have either morally or legally. We have responsibilities, which is a thing that one is required to do as part of a role or an obligation. We have honorary, which is conferred as an honor without the usual requirement. Like when you do something for someone, or when you give something to someone without the usual requirement. You're giving something to someone to honor them without the person meeting the usual requirements, right? We have eminent, which means standing out, does mean outstanding and above others in a positive way. We also have obliged, which means to make someone legally or morally bound to do something. Just the same way we talked in our citizenship, when we said that citizens are they are entitled to rights, right? They are also obliged. That means they are legally or morally bound to carry out some responsibilities, to carry out some obligations and some duties. Then we have territory, which is an area of land under the jurisdiction of a ruler or state. We also have adoption, which is a legal act of taking another's child and bringing it up as one's own. Okay, just so we recap, we said that by definition, a citizen is a person who is officially, legally recognized as a member of a state, and such a person is also entitled to political, social, and economic rights, while they are also obliged to carry out some responsibilities, duties, and obligations. We also said that citizens are bona fide, legal, you can say bona fide, you can say legal, you can say official members of a country. Okay, we also say that those who are not official members or legal members of a state or a country are regarded towards as aliens. Then we also said that citizenship is the status of being a legal or an official member of a country, and this status gives you the right? It gives you the entitlement to the rights which you enjoy, but it also obliges you to carry out some duties, responsibilities under the law. We talked about various ways of acquiring citizenship by birth or birthright citizenship. We also have citizenship by registration, and under that we have citizenship by marriage. We have citizenship by descent. We have citizenship by adoption. We have citizenship by naturalization. We also have honorary citizenship, right? And we talked about withdrawal of citizenship, where we said here the citizenship conferred to an individual is withdrawn, possibly when such a person flutters the rules and regulations, or the person aids another country against a country which has conferred on him or her the citizenship of the country. Okay, see you some other time. Thank you.